Avarie Howard here in Lincoln following Tuesday media availability. Well, come this Saturday, Nebraska will play host to a Michigan State team that's in a similar situation as they are. Both 3-1, both coming off a bye weekend, and both coming off losses in their Big Ten openers. Nebraska's loss coming at the hands of a Michigan team that Dana Holgorsen had never faced before. He shared today.
They showed us what it needs to look like, quite frankly.
He shared with us today where the bye week offered them an opportunity to come back stronger against Michigan State.
We made some of the offensive guys watch what they were doing on offense and kind of how they were playing on offense. And so just looking at what it's supposed to look like, I think that taught us something, What do we got to do to fix it? How are we going to fix it? I've seen us practice at a very, very high level. Okay, so I give our team, our players, Coach Rule, tremendous credit for having the resiliency to come out and practice the way that they did Tuesday and Wednesday. I've never seen it. I've never seen it like that in a bye week, and get away from it for several days, come back focused on Sunday, and then go out again this morning and have a really good practice. Okay, so you play a good team and the outcome isn't what you want it to be, then you just need to learn from it, right? And I think our team has learned from it, and man, I'm thrilled to see what it looks like on Saturday.
Although Nebraska is ranked second nationally in the country right now in passing yards, both Coach Rule and Coach Holgorsen want to see their offensive attack be more balanced, and that comes with improving the running game now that this team has entered into Big Ten play. A lot of that conversation circulating around who is that RB2? Well, according to Coach Holgorsen, come this Saturday, you might see something new.
I think you'll see something that you haven't seen on Saturday. I know Coach alluded to that as well, and that's what I'm going to go with.
Speaking of the running game, Michigan State will bring with them 3 rushers this weekend that have totaled over 130 yards so far this season, one of them being their quarterback, Aiden Childs, an area that has troubled Nebraska's defense so far this season, an area that Coach Butler says is the elephant in the room.
Happening when? In the run game. They're only happening in the run game, so it's very specific. It's not like they're running the ball for 50 yards and throwing the ball for 50 yards, so I think we have a good plan in terms of what we're doing when we think they're going to throw the ball. So we've got to solve the obvious, which is not just the run defense, but the explosive plays that we're giving up in the run defense. And really it comes down to guys being in their gaps, guys having the ability to get off blocks. Credit to the other team. I think I said this to you guys in the past, like I have to evaluate, can they block us? Can we tackle them? And I think through really the Cincinnati game and the Michigan game, because they're the two obviously comparable opponents in terms of talent similar to ours or better, you have to be able to evaluate. And right now we're getting blocked too much and we're not tackling them well enough. And we have to practice that. We have to emphasize that. At times maybe, we got to put more guys in the box, which then, as you know, when it's 11 on 11 and the quarterback's running the ball, the more you put in the box, the more you make yourself susceptible to throws down the field. But we obviously have to address that because that's the elephant in the room. That's Captain Obvious can figure out that we're giving up too many explosive runs.
Moving on to the players we heard from today, starting with offensive lineman Rocco Spindler. He shared with us what the Michigan game allowed his room to zero in and focus on intently as they move into the rest of Big Ten play. And he was all business when asked what the mentality of this group is.
To our technique and basics, kind of just go back to the drawing board, see where we can improve at as a whole group, and really just build off that. Yeah, we got after it, plain and simple as that. I mean, it was a very violent, physical approach, and I feel like we needed that. Guys are buying in. I mean, they bought in, from day one, and now that our backs are against the wall a little bit, it's more of just like kill or be killed. That's kind of our mindset going for the rest of the season.
Next, we heard from tight end Luke Lindenmeyer, who shares the bye week allowed them the opportunity to look at the tape and then look at themselves in the mirror and figure out what they could do individually. But he also highlighted the leadership of his quarterback, Dylan Raiola, who demanded perfection in practice during the bye week.
Takes charge, takes ownership, and he's got a fire inside of him that he wants to ignite in all of us too to bounce back this week. During practice, like if he didn't like something, he shut it down and like we did it again, and he made sure like his opinion was heard, and like he's probably one of the hardest workers on the offense, and as a tight end and anybody else on the offense, we see that and we want to match that.
Well, speaking of that leader, we heard from Dylan Raiola today, who shared the good week they had in practice really started when he saw the way his team reacted in the locker room following the loss to Michigan.
Special team, when right after the game we came back in the locker room and, normally where it's pointing fingers and he did this, you did that, But we just kind of latched on and came together. And from my point of view, is just making sure that guys aren't making excuses for themselves and making sure that they understand that it's our responsibility. No one's going to come hand us anything. So we wouldn't want it any other way.
In the bye week, there was a lot of discussion. A lot of that discussion was circulating around the offensive line and what they gave up against Michigan as Dylan Raiola was sacked 7 times. Well, as this group looks to turn the page and move forward to Michigan State, Dylan Raiola shares, "I'd be careful who you put the blame on."
That everything was them. I would put a lot of it on myself, and not being able to get the football out. I need to make sure that I help them out with that. So I would be careful putting all of it on them, just because it's not just those 5 guys, but it's the receivers, it's the running backs, and ultimately it's me. So I'll take that one, and I know we'll learn from it and be better.
There's an all-business mindset from everyone we heard from today, from coordinators to players. They'll put that to the test on Saturday when they face off against Michigan State here in Lincoln at 3 o'clock.